Hello and welcome to Mad Scientist Labs. For this lab, we are going to do a local folder to SharePoint Online migration. This video will only cover the data upload, and in another video, I'll show you some really cool ways to connect the client computers to SharePoint Online. So let's get started. Okay. And we are in the admin center here, and we're going to go to SharePoint admin center. If you don't see it, you'll have to click on show more at the bottom here, though it's cut off on this video. And we're going to go to active sites. In my case, I already created the SharePoint site, but what you'll need to do is click on create, select team site, and then select your template, and then select use template, and then you'll give it a name. Let's go into the one I already created, and then go to documents. Alright, and what I recommend is that you pre-build your folder structure and assign permissions before uploading, because if there's too many items in the folder, then SharePoint will throw an error stating that there's too many items in the folder. So let me show you how to apply their permissions. Click on the three dots, manage access, click on these three dots, advanced settings, and let me delete unique permissions so I can show you. So by default, it will inherit the permissions, so we're going to click on Stop Inheriting Permissions, and then Grant Permissions, and then we can add whatever Azure groups we want. And then one thing I want to point out here is we want to show options, and then uncheck this box if we're not ready to put the SharePoint site in production. Okay, and then we can also select these, remove permissions if we only want the Azure groups to be in here. Let me show you my DC/file server here, which has this shared folders here. And let's get the SharePoint migration tool. And we want this link here, and we want the general availability one. That's the most stable one. Click on agree, install, and let's run this. And while that's going, let me move this up a little bit. And while that's going, let me show you. Okay, and you want to have Microsoft Visual C++ redistributable here, or else the SharePoint migration tool won't run. And let me get my credentials. Accept my authenticator prompt. Okay, and now we're going to, under file share, we're going to select add a new migration, and for this case, single file share. And we're going to browse to the folder. All right, and we have these two options here. This one, it will migrate the root folder, so it will. So when you go to SharePoint Online Documents, you'll just see shared files or whatever your folder name is. And then this one will migrate all the subfolders. I like this option better. Next. We select SharePoint as the destination. Now let me get the link for that SharePoint site. And then you're going to do the next one down after sites here. Okay. And let me paste that in. And then want to migrate it to documents. Next. Alright, and then you can name this something if you want to. Next. And this option is normally enabled by default. It must not be because I've done a couple test runs before this. But you generally don't need this if you're not doing a migration that's in a hybrid environment. And we're going to click on Start. And I will pause while that's running and get back when it's done. All right, and we have finished the migration. Okay, and we're going to go back to list because I want to show you something here. Now, if I select this migration and run the incremental option here, what that's going to do is it's going to upload all the changes that were made to the shared folder. So what you would do is you would do a first initial upload to seed the data, and then run a couple of incrementals throughout the time when people are still working in the shared drive. And then when you're ready to cut over, you would run one more incremental and then cut it over. And we'll quit. And yep, that is everything. Thanks for watching.